After shining a light on the finer elements of Bo Welsh's visionary adaptation of Dr. Seuss's most famous work, it naturally poses the questions. Why was this film so badly reviewed, despite its many positive aspects? What was it that critics in 2003 found so objectionable about Cat in the Hat? Were they all on the payroll of some shady mafia organisation? Or are they all just stupid? Let's find out. In this review, written by Maitland McDonough for TVGuide.com, the intro and outro can be boiled down to Zeus is king, Myers is shit. Dr. Seuss's original Cat was apparently a better person than Mike Myers, and would never lower himself to making dirty jokes. The critic also asserts that Dr. Seuss himself would not like the film. These are simply value judgments, with no critical engagement or reasoning. The remainder of the review, a full 70% of the words written, is simply a plot synopsis. She gave the film 1 star. When you write a review that simply explains the film's plot and then gives it 1 star, it's lazy and unimaginative, which is one of the allegations that critics throw at this film, and without reasoning, the few criticisms that are made hold no weight. This review, by Peter Bradshaw, which appeared in The Guardian, takes the form of a poem. I hate when reviewers pull this kind of fucking shite.
The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play. So we sat in the house all that cold, cold wet day. Do bored kids this Easter want something for kicks? That Cat in the Hat thing is on at the flicks.
So, he went to see the film.
It's a book for young kids in the US of A, with hat-wearing feline who's not at all gay. In the States, children love it, but need I say more? Over here, to be frank, it's a tiresome bore.
So, children in the USA are stupid, and nobody in the UK likes Dr. Seuss.
We've got J.K. Rowling with her massive great wad, and old Philip Pullman who's slacking off God, and Jacqueline Wilson we've read loads of times. Do we need Dr. Seuss with his fatuous rhymes?
And J.K. Rowling, Philip Pullman, and Jacqueline Wilson are all better than Dr. Seuss. Okay.
Well, the Cat's now a movie, Mike Myers in the lead. Alec Baldwin's the villain, he's going to seed. He's put on some weight now, he's really quite chunky. How weird to remember, he used to be hunky.
Here he mentions that Alec Baldwin has put on weight and is no longer attractive to him.
Dakota Fanning plays a sweet little dear. How I long to give Fanning a clip round the ear.
Peter here is saying that he would like to physically assault a 9-year-old girl. Is this really appropriate for a review? I think you should keep that to yourself, Peter, mate. He goes on.
But it's Myers who pains me. He truly looks sad. Humorless, frazzled, and really quite mad. In costume and makeup, he's destined to fail. He's just Dr. Evil with ears and a tail. But I still won't believe this star's on the wane. For me, Austin Powers was Citizen Kane.
Mike Myers is not funny, and his costume is shit. But he was better in Austin Powers. Of course, he couldn't help bringing up Citizen Kane.
So if someone says, let's see the Cat in the Hat, turn it down flat. I wish I'd done that.
Nothing of substance here either. Who gave this guy the credentials to write a poem and pass it off as a review? This type of bullshit makes my blood boil. Whilst it may be creative and entertaining to read, it has no critical weight. Save it for your open mic night, Peter. Finally, from a review by David Edelstein in Slate.
Like being run over by a garbage truck that backs up and dumps his load on top of you, it is a sloppy and vulgar burlesque, one of the most repulsive kiddie movies ever. Aggressively unpleasant, with his genius comic radar, Myers must have sensed the slant was wrong, but couldn't turn back. Even under all that hair, you can detect the expression of someone flapping his arms to keep a lead balloon aloft. The movie's grim subtext is the wreck of co-star Alec Baldwin's career. Look how patty he looks, and how he never manages to rise above his material.
This is simply a series of visual gags. not a critical analysis. These reviewers may have had valid criticisms of the film, however, this is nowhere to be found in their reviews. Here, the reviewers themselves embody the childishness that they are turning their nose up at. Film reviewers wouldn't pull this kind of shit with the flavour of the month indie darling or Oscar bait movies, so why have they done this for Cat in the Hat? Critics are not as willing to give certain films and filmmakers the benefit of the doubt, and are consequently not as willing to interpret some films on a deeper level and critically engage with the work. Critics occupy a privileged position in society, where their opinion is supposed to be taken seriously. However, this comes with the responsibility for their criticisms to be fair and reasoned. A critic review should not be like an anonymous user review. It's of course impossible and undesirable to be completely objective, however a critic should be able to back their opinion up. While the average moviegoer may not be familiar with the more complex aspects of film analysis, an expert should be able to simplify these concepts for their audience as part of their job. They should explain why a film is or isn't worth seeing, with reference to something more than just their personal taste and emotional reaction. Colourful writing and raw personal feelings are an integral part of writing an engaging review. However, without the core of serious critical consideration, these embellishments are meaningless. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But once you voice that opinion, you should then be willing to have that opinion challenged. We're all just a bunch of knobheads after all. If there's one thing to take away from this, then it's to think for yourself, and not let things like critical consensus cloud your enjoyment of a piece of work. Don't let the critics decide what your favourite movie is, or what you should and shouldn't watch. That goes for us too. But we'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Disagree? Let us know, and we can all think together as thinking men and thinking women.